So I'm gonna record this. I'm gonna record this session for tonight. I'll be uploading it for the members. So starting tomorrow, we don't have anything on the economic calendar. That is on a Monday, 16th. On Tuesday, we'll be having some conference, that is a speech from the Bank of Japan. And then we'll also be having a Bank of Japan policy rates on Tuesday. So it will be there will be some effects on Japanese yen. And then on the same Tuesday, we're going to have some impact on the dollar, that is the US dollar during the New York Open around 8:30 a.m. New York time. That is 3:30 p.m. Kenyan time. We're going to have core retail sales. So guys, as a trader, it's very important to be equipped and be updated on what is going on, because if you don't know what is happening on the on the economies that you're trading, you might find yourself being surprised with the price movement. So it's always very important every single day, every week to week basis, get updated, get to understand what is affecting different asset class that you're trading. Then on Wednesday, you're going to have CPI for the pound during the London session. And then on same Wednesday, we'll be having some important fundamental updates. We're going to have a speech from the Bank of Canada, that is from Maclean's. Then we'll also be having unemployment claims for the dollar during the New York session. Later on at 9 p.m. Kenyan time, we're going to have federal funds rates, very important and a major kind of a fundamental update. So probably if I'll have time, we might go live during that time and get to analyze and get to know what is happening, and so that we can be able to forecast on the future of the dollar. Then on Thursday, we're going to have some effect on the New Zealand dollar. Most people don't trade that, so we really don't need to put a lot of emphasis on that. And then on same Thursday, during the London session, that is 10:30 Kenyan time AM, we're going to have policy rates for the CHF. We'll also be having monetary policy summary. We'll be having official bank rates for the pound. Then we'll be having a bank holiday for the dollar the whole day, as well as the New Zealand dollar. Then we'll be wrapping up our week with the retail sales for the pound, as well as a speech from the Bank of Japan during the London session. That's how our week is from our economic calendar. I'm gonna post this on Discord. Aris will as well post those other groups, so that guys get updated on what's going on. Now, that is from the fundamental point of view. I'll check on the technicals, and then I will allow Harris to share what he has on his watch list. And then I'll also come in and give out some update concerning what's happening in terms of the Israel and the Iran thing. What is its implication and impact on the market? And how are we supposed to react on some currency pairs and also some different asset class? Right? Are we guys together? I hope you're following keenly. So I'll start with the dollar, the DXY, the dollar index. For those guys who wonder why do we always check dollar index as well as the JPY basket, it's what gives us the direction of the correlative currencies that we trade. For instance, if you're trading pairs like USDJPY, USDCHF, if the dollar is buying, of course, USDCHF, USDJPY will be buying. The dollar is selling, USDCHF will be selling, and vice versa for the other pairs like Euro USD, GBPUSD, and so on and so forth. Sometimes when it comes to the dollar correlation with gold, you cannot rely on how the dollar is performing. Gold can, gold is considered as a safe haven. And in most cases, when we have things like this geopolitical tension, many people try to put their funds into a safe haven. Like we have the CHF pairs as well as gold. That's what people always try to do. That's why sometimes you cannot really rely on the correlation of dollar against the gold market, right? Now, so when you look at the dollar index, of course, you have to check on the higher time frame. From the monthly perspective, we can clearly see that we have this kind of impure liquidity. I'm doing this for the sake of those guys who understand. Impure liquidity can be seen on any time frame, but there are those time frames that are very powerful. And from this impure liquidity, when I'm talking about the impure liquidity, I'm talking about this support. This is a zone where we had a lot of support before price had some candlestick closing below this zone. That is an indication. This is an interchange price level whereby sellers took out the buyers. And that means anytime the market will come here, we'll have a reaction that will continue taking us maybe probably downwards. But if you look at the recent price action that we have, factoring the aspect of time frame coordination, we will check daily. But before we check on daily, we have to check on weekly so that you can see if you have any area of liquidity that is left. That puts me in a scenario whereby, first of all, from the weekly time frame, this black line represents an area of liquidity, which is very powerful. That's why we had this reaction. When the market was trying to pull back, it reacted from here and so, right? Because sellers are strongly in the market. In short, I'm trying to say the dollar index is still bearish on higher time frame. Still, we have this area of liquidity on the weekly time frame, but we really, on this area, we also have some sort of liquidity. I think we have here type, this is type what? This is type 5. You've seen price reacting around this zone, but as far as I'm concerned, I'm expecting probably dollar to continue coming all the way to the downside, and maybe later on will be bullish. So on the weekly time frame, the area of liquidity that we have is this one and this one at the top here. And then you also have this particular zone. We'll check it with 4 hours, but I want to check on what you have on the daily time frame since we have bias from the monthly. Now, looking at the daily structure or price action, we can clearly see that you're strongly bearish. The trend is bearish. The market is forming, the market has been forming low lows and low highs, something of the sort. That's what the market has been doing. And last week, the other week before the week we had, because last week I remember we didn't have a session. I wasn't feeling well, but guys, once you join the meeting, make sure you have your mic muted. And if you're using double devices, make sure you mute so that we don't have an echo. Perfect. So looking at Esther, I will remove you from the meeting. If you're using 2 devices, what you do, make sure you don't join with audio, because when there's an echo, that simply means you're using either a phone and a laptop. So you have to, the one that you want to use the voice, make sure you join with audio and then you mute. But the one that you don't want to join with the voice, just don't turn on the audio. Perfect. So on the daily time frame, price has reacted on this area of liquidity. Talking about this area, and the market has been selling. Now, we had this structure on 4 hours whereby we expect price to come and react, and I believe that happened for the other week before we had some crazy moves. Hold on. So if you check on 4 hours, I remember very well we had highlighted this zone. We had highlighted the sorry for that. So when you check on the 4 hours structure, initially we had this area that was left. The market came and reacted on this impure liquidity and the price pushed up. But from Wednesday, we had a crazy drop. We had a strong bearish move to the downside, which has traded below this one. That is a clear indication to me that we might continue selling. We might continue being bearish on dollar, despite the fact that we have this impure liquidity here, because this was also some total of impure liquidity. There's a likelihood. Let me show you the two possibilities of what I'm anticipating. The market, I do something of this, and then continue selling. There's also a possibility of the market opening and continue selling. Those are the two probabilities that I have from the technical point of view, unless we'll be having some update, fundamental updates, maybe that will be coming up. That's when there's a high likelihood of us continuing. That's what I have in my point of view from the technical aspect. So if you go back to the daily time frame, you can clearly see that the Friday candlestick was bullish. And if you look at the closing price, that is 98.145. So I still, as far as I'm concerned, I will expect bearish trajectory, like will continue coming down. So that's what I have on the dollar. So I think, Aris, I'll give you a chance maybe to talk about what your point of view, talk on what you have on your watch list. I don't know if Mr. Kiptu is in the house. Also, I see there's Mr. Lele. I don't know if you're in position to share. You'll let me know. But Aris, maybe you can take over, and then I'll come and also share my other what I have on my watch list. And also give a fundamental view on what you expect on gold.
I think I'll just be brief and share what is on my watch list. Hope I'm visible. Let me share my screen. Mzee Basoti should stop sharing so that I can share. Perfect. So I think there's been an, don't know, let me call it an awakening. Because also in my community, I'm seeing people asking on gold and what will happen. I think I can say now people are woke and are now trying to integrate fundamentals with technicals. But usually on the Forex market, if you've been there for some times, you'll come to the conclusion that most of the time the markets are usually ahead of us, or the price already priced in. Like if you look at gold, because of maybe if I chip in of the issue of the wars that are happening in Israel and Iran, if you look at gold, the price already priced in. Gold started already buying last week and the other week. So usually most of the time you'll realize that the price already started moving in direction with the fundamentals, but the fundamentals just come as a catalyst to what will happen in the markets. So I think, but I must appreciate that also I think the learners across, or the members across the communities, I think are now aligning the fundamentals with the technicals. But also as we see, maybe I see something on gold, the highest point that was reached by gold was 3,500 levels. So likelihood this week also we have a clear break of the upside technically. So if you get a nice price in price, because technically we buy low, sell high. So if you get a price action from that zone, continue buying to the upside, it will be better. So I think for gold, we'll be looking for buys, but I'll leave that for Basodi to come and elaborate. So for me, maybe I'll look on EU and GJ, and then I give it back to Basweti to say something on the other pairs. So for me, on JPY, I think, as Basweti has said, this week we expect two fundamentals on GJ. I think we have interest rates on the pound and also the JPY, so it will be having a key interest on what will be happening on those assets. But I think last week we had nice positions on the same. I think we had intraday and swing positions on GJ or GBPJPY. I think we had a nice sell around there. Which I managed to catch, but I think I came out around 4%. Therefore, we had nice buys from that zone. It took me out some micro pips and then went to my direction. So there, if you are keen, I think we also discussed it on with the community. If you are keen, you could have gotten those two entries there on GJ and also closed your week. So I think let us also be keen on the setups that we share here, and I'll try to follow them up. Sometimes even if it just gets two nice clean setups and you are done for the week, even on Wednesday or Tuesday. So it's not a must that you trade the whole week. You just raise your target and get nice setups. You can close the week and take your profits and do other things. So for GJ on the same, see we have we're still bullish on GBPJPY. Price came to liquidate this zone here, came to pick liquidity around that zone because we have a formation here that came to be liquidated. But I will love to see how price action will play out because I have two key points of interest. I have area one liquidity, I think on a higher time frame, yet to be mitigated. Top there. Let's see. My internet is failing me. Just a minute. I have two key points of liquidity. I think due to the fundamentals that will be coming out, one of the areas must be mitigated. I have an area one liquidity here. I'll see how price will respect this upward movement tomorrow until that zone there. If not, we'll see how price will be coming back to this key zone here. We'll be looking to get more buys. So still bullish on the same on the intraday basis. See how price will react at that. I think it's 179.400 levels on GJ. But the two key fundamentals that are coming out on the interest rates on the pound and the GPY will be a key determinant on how this pair will go. So I've marked those key levels, but we'll see how price will price in those key levels. Same case on ADUSD, as David has stated, we still have experiencing a weak dollar. So on AUDUSD, I think price came and mitigated the key zone there, then started buying. But on the higher time frame, on the 4 hour, I still have an area one liquidity there, another one there, key area of interest that has not been liquidated. So these generally are intraday opportunities, but most of them will see how price action plays out tomorrow. I'm not in a hurry to take the setups. So let us just be keen and see how price will react at that zone as we are trading on the liquidity and how price will come to liquidate those zones. But on general outlook on the dollar, I think the dollar, we are still bearish, still dollar weakness across. And on the higher time frame, maybe if I touch something on the same, the dollar has a very key, is in a critical zone. Let me say that. We still have very big imbalances to be filled on the DXY there. That's why we are saying that the dollar is negative, or we are saying the dollar is weak. If the dollar is weak, we're currently trying to look at what happens across the other pairs so that you can get an edge. The reason why we analyze the dollar is just to get the dollar narrative on how the dollar goes so that we can apply across all the other pairs. Maybe we have something on the JPY, USDJPY. I think USDJPY has been think it has been bullish the other week, but this week we still had nice opportunities. I think I had a sell, but I think price came in strongly to the downside until that zone. I think this one took me out on GJ. That came to an area of liquidity. See, we have a clear change of character around there to the upside. So we'll see how price will play out. Possibly we get some shots back to that area of liquidity, then we continue buying. So on the USDJPY, to be looking for buy opportunities, but on the other dollar pairs, we'll be looking for a weak dollar across. So don't have much to say. On the USD card, I don't the price action is not clear, still lagging. No clear opportunities to get trades, but we have a nice BS to the downside, but still monitoring it and see how price action will play out as the week unfolds. So as we open the week, also expect see the reaction on gold in relation to the wars that are happening in the Middle East. So with that, I think back to you, Basweti.
Thank you so much. So that's simple, precise. So guys, I think we are aligning in terms of the dollar expectation. I'll make a few points that you guys need to know. No, we are trading in a probability market. And since you're trading in a probability market, no one is a guru. Let your ego not make you think, since you've had a winning strike, maybe a good week or a good month, you think that the market, you are immune to the market. The market will always humble you. When I'm saying that, I'm specifically talking about risk management. The only way to stay long in this business is to be so good in risk management and always risk what you're willing to risk. Have a plan that can let you be in a position to do things in a manner that will not allow you to find yourself being affected with emotions, and doing impulsive trading and all that. So I'll proceed on by also giving out some highlights on other currency pairs, and then finally I'll talk about gold. So I think we had a similar sell setup for GJ. Gave those guys were in the challenge group. I gave out these cells. The market delivered some good number of pips with a nice risk to reward ratio. So I'll check on Euro USD. I'll also check on Audi USD. I'll also check on a few CHF pairs. And then I will finalize on gold. So as usual, I always check my charts from the monthly perspective, get to understand what we have. Now, on the monthly time frame, we have these particular price point. This is GBPUSD. We have this particular price point, and this is a key zone that needs to be, we need to take keen attention on it. It's a zone where price was being rejected a couple of times before initially the market came and reacted above that price level. That is on GBPUSD. And from that, if you look at the immediate price levels that we have as areas of liquidity, we have this type 3 liquidity that is seated above there. So that's a zone I'm expecting probably Euro USD to push up. That's my target from the swinging perspective. So if I go back to the daily time frame, because of the time frame coordination, and maybe before that, as always, I always check on weekly. Do we have any immediate and consumed areas of liquidity that I have to consider? So I hope you guys are seeing my screen. Kindly confirm if you can see my screen and if you can hear me loud and clear. Confirm, guys. I want you guys to confirm if you can see my screen, because I realize my internet is a little bit lagging. I need to know if all of you guys are following keenly so that we get to learn together. All right, perfect. So, like I was saying, if you look at Euro USD from the monthly point of view, we have that particular price zone, and then we have this area of liquidity. And this area of liquidity is seated above a zone that is, for me, I'll say it's like a flip zone. So right now, I'm anticipating for us to continue pushing up further for the Euro USD, because on the other side, dollar is anticipated to keep on moving down. So I'm expecting price to continue pushing up. That's from the long-term perspective. I want us to check on the weekly. What structures do we have, right? So if you look at weekly structure, this is my impure liquidity. That's why price came down and then pushed up. So I'm expecting a bullish trajectory. So we'll of course check on the lower time frame and see where are the best areas to look for buys and continue targeting those zones. So if you look at the distance from where the current price is in terms of pips, that is 280 pips. For Euro USD, those are a lot of pips. Such currency pairs, their volatility is not that high, like, because they are major currencies. Now, Looking at the daily time frame, of course, factoring the aspect of time frame coordination because I was being guided by the monthly structure. So I'll check on the daily time frame. On the daily time frame, I see price reacted on this pure liquidity. I mean, we have what you call, this is now what you call pure bullish. Those guys who understand the structure of the market, pure bullish. Then the market has been, forming a series of high highs, and all that. And if you look at this particular zone in terms of breakout structure, we can clearly see that we have a body candlestick that has closed above this. So this is a confirmation for me. We are actually pushing up further in terms of the Euro USD and so on and so forth. So if you go narrow down to the lower time frame to look at the possible reactions, so the whole of this is an impulsive move. Whatever is happening right now is a reaction, a short-term reaction. So the market came to react on these type 5 liquidity, and it's pushed up. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm expecting a reaction like this. So guys, sometimes we do this weekly live breakdown and we don't, but I'll try to share the setups. So be attentive so that you know what you're looking at and what you expect. So for me, expect price to react a little bit up high, then drop, form some liquidities, then to enter to Kiandanga. So that's my view on Euro USD. I'm strongly bullish on Euro USD. So probably once the market opens, during Mondays are not so good to trade, but based on our strategy, if you had analysis and everything is confirmed, you can take even your trade on Monday. But the movement of price on Monday is always a little bit slow because price start picking up on Tuesday, Wednesday. But if you position yourself with a good buyers on Monday, by Tuesday, Wednesday, you're done for the week. Guys, as a trader, you need to have a plan. Don't just chase the market. You can make money from Monday to Wednesday and then you lose it on Thursday and Friday. That will be so bad. So once you achieve your target, even if it's on Wednesday, close your laptop and call it a week. That's the good thing about trading. Because if your target maybe it's $400 in a week and you have achieved it on Tuesday or Wednesday, what else do you want? Well, your pesa, go do other things that you want to do outside there, right? Now that is on Euro USD. So let us check on GBPUSD, and then I'll give an idea on CHF pairs. I hope you guys, I'm trying to make my analysis and forecast simple. I don't want to complicate anything. In case you have a question or anything, feel free to ask on the chat section. I or Aris will be able to respond to you, and even Akinalele and the rest of the members. So on GBPUSD, as usual, I'll go to monthly time frame. Same scenario for Euro USD. Guys, always also make sure your charts are clean. Don't have a lot of, make sure your charts are clean. So looking at the recent areas of liquidity, you can see this one was consumed. And where price right now. So I think I have some sort of, this is an important area for me. So there's this left structure here. That's where I'm targeting. So for Euro USD, for GBP USD, we have what you call pure. So we have impure and we have pure liquidity. And as much as guys, you are considering the aspect of correlation, you need to understand the best price levels to buy from and the best price levels to sell from. You don't just jump into charts because maybe, since the dollar is selling, you just buy euro. No, it doesn't work like that. You also have to follow the best price levels from an independent pair. So let's check on weekly. The weekly time frame, and see price was trying to form higher highs and higher lows, market going up, coming down, and then it has left us with perfect. This now validates my impure liquidity. That's what I was looking for. Anyway, you see a lot of reactions before price breaks up or down, depending on the case scenario. It validates the pure liquidity. Initially on the monthly, it was pure, but on weekly, it's impure. So since I was using monthly as my guidance, I'll check on what we have. Perfect. We have some sort of liquidity engineering. That's my target. So if I look at the daily time frame, I can clearly see the recent structures that cost break of structure at this area is this price level. So even for GBPUSD, I'm anticipating the market to come down here and then push further upwards. So that's daily. So I'm expecting probably price to come down here, then push up, but we'll check on the lower time frame as the week goes on and see these zones to enter on. Let's check on 4 hours chart. We have a break of structure, but this zone has not been broken. So that simply means we had liquidity engineering here. Perfect. So that means there's a likelihood of us not even maybe coming down here soon, unless otherwise. So there's a likelihood of us, for me, let me show you something. I'll update the morning session. So I'm expecting a bullish move from around this point. I'm expecting a bullish move from around that price level. But when it comes to looking for entry levels, there are things that we check on the lower time frame. So I'm also bullish on GBPUSD. That's what I have on GBPUSD. So let us look at some of a few CHF pairs. Then I will talk about gold and call it a night. These things are just, wow, I gave this entry, I think almost a month ago. It's all about patience. I remember this setup. It's almost a month ago. There's a reaction here. So, but now things have changed. This setup might not be valid based on the current market conditions. So if you go back to the daily time frame, do you guys know that even CHF as a currency is also considered as safe haven? Are you aware of that, guys? Go do your research and get to understand. So that means it is not necessarily that since dollar is doing whatever it's doing, that there's a likelihood of any CHF pairs might react a little bit different. But based on the basic technical aspect, looking at these price action that we have, that is daily. Okay. So I'll expect something of the sort. We have impure liquidity around this particular price level. Some setups that I gave the other week, part one. Those guys who in the Discord, I know you've been eating. So I'm expecting something of this to happen. Market will come around this zone, then we're going to sell massively. So that is what I have on the CHF. Expecting a reaction of the sort. Though, as much as we have that, we recently have liquidity. Okay, low, high. Okay. Do you have any candlestick closure? Let's see. So the first case scenario is price might push all the way up, but based on the aspect of the dollar performance now, not considering the fundamental kind of implication, so we might continue selling. Actually, we might continue selling from here. We might continue selling from here. That's 1 hour. Okay. We might continue selling and then we'll go up then we continue selling. So that's what I have on the dollar, the USD CHF. So finally, let me talk about gold. Let me talk about gold. Before I talk about the technical point of view, I want us to read this fundamental together. So this week we have the Fed rates. That's on Wednesday at 9 p.m. So Israel launched a preemptive airstrike against Iran on Friday, targeting its nuclear plant and military sites. This marks a dramatic escalation of the long-running regional conflict in the Middle East and lifts the safe haven gold price to its highest level since April 22nd during the Asian session. So you realize on Friday, those guys were keenly attentive. I don't know why people fear trading gold. For me, I feel like gold is the easiest thing to trade. The only problem is maybe the emotional stability because of its volatility, but gold is the easiest thing to trade on earth. Anyway, if you're still new in the market, don't rush to gold. It will make your life so hard, but gold is one of the easiest thing to trade, as for me. With the time, you'll get to understand what I mean. So the Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said that the operation targeted Iran's nuclear program and will continue for as many days as it takes to remove this threat. Israel declared a state of emergency, saying that retaliatory action from Iran was possible following the operation. Meanwhile, a spokesperson for Iran armed forces said that Israel carried out attacks with support from the US. However, top US diplomat Marco Rubio said that America was not involved in the strike and that Israel had told them that this action was necessary for the self-defense. So what this implies, okay? So on the trade related from the US President Donald Trump expanded the 50% steel tariffs to a range of household appliances. US Commerce Secretary Howard said that tariff levels on Chinese import remains at 55% and will not change from this point onward. So the US Bureau of Labor Statistics reports that the producer price index remained muted. I remember on Friday we had something. May and rose 0.1 compared to a revised 0.2 decline in April. This comes on top of the marginal rise of the US consumer price, backing the case for further easing of the Federal Reserve. So now, the whole thing is what this implies actually, whenever we have a geopolitical tension, you see, US is involved in terms of supporting Israel. I want to show you something. Yeah? I hope you guys are following. The US is involved. I'll start with now. From the technical point of view, we have had confirmations that we're going to continue being bullish on gold. And then now the aspect of fundamental is really supporting the whole idea. So last week, if you look at gold, what was happening, the market was reacting on some major areas of liquidity. Like this is an example of impure liquidity. Price tapped, went up. Then we also have this one that has not probably been tested. But before the market bought, there's this area that was created. Before the market passively bought, there was this area that was created, which you'll see on the lower time frame. So I'm expecting gold to continue pushing up. This kind of price action It's a preparation for one of crazy move that is coming ahead. So you need to know how to position yourself. Those guys who are in the hybrid group, there's something I showed you. I told you guys once price comes at 34.26, I want to teach you something. Buy. Remember I said that. Those guys who bought, you got 100 pips easily. Reason, this zone is very important. 15 minutes. I'm just teaching you the simple things that I use when it comes to trading gold. There was this impure liquidity. Realize that price was being rejected around these zones, so key price level, and then price tapped and went up. So when the market was coming down, initially I had some buys. There's a trade that I did a mistake. I posted on my Instagram. I executed buys along this area by accident because of my internet lagging. I went on a drawdown of almost 1,500, but the good thing is I had a leverage that will allow me to hold the trade. And once I got confirmation, once the price came to my entry, I had to remove the orders that were here. I added some entries for buys around this zone because we had clear confirmation of buys here. Then I had to close those that I had opened here. I did a very stupid mistake. Sometimes it happens. So you need to be very careful when you're executing trades on your devices, especially check your internet because you can do some stupid mistakes and it can affect you in a very bad way. So those guys who were in that, where I posted that, reason why I was saying that let's buy from this level because it's key zone. It's an area of liquidity, which is I term it as impure liquidity. When you look at that, price came tapped and delivered before market. And actually, I'm expecting gold to continue pushing up. So kiangalia reaction ilipeana around 130 pips. That's why I tell guys gold is the easiest thing to trade because if you were to take that trade and even put an SL of there are some rules we follow 20 pips. That's already an error of almost 1 to 5, actually 1 to 6. If you have an account that has, you can do a one lot, that's clean $1,400. If it's your account, you can do $0.140 just within 1 hour and you're done. That's why I love trading gold. Easy to zaenda pole pole. But I'm not saying that all of us can trade gold. It's a matter of time. It's taken me time to study gold, and that's why I love trading gold. Now, are we guys still there? Tunafuata. Are we guys still there? So I want to finalize on this. So based on the current price action that we have, one, expect the market might open with a gap because the big boys are putting orders once the market opens. For me, my bias is we're going to continue pushing up. As much as we have this zone that price might come, as far as I'm concerned, I expect price to push up. Don't be surprised to see gold delivering over 1,000 plus pips before Wednesday or even Tuesday. That's what I'm looking into. But I'm going to give updates. Be very attentive in those groups that you're in. I know even Aris will be doing the same. I'm going to give updates concerning gold. This week, I really want to make a lot of money from gold. To make good money. I haven't talked to him for a while. I think I need to find out. It's been a minute seen him, but I'll find out where he is. So gold, looking at the price action that we have, market has tapped into this zone. If you check on 4 hours, this is type 5. Price came retested, and then these are the candlestick. So expect a gap up, probably. Then the first area that you should consider as your target is 3450, 3450, and then the next target is 3500. Once we break that 500, just know that before this year ends, we might be heading to 4,000 all the way to 6,000 price level. Don't be surprised. Some of us were trading gold when it was huku chini 1800 level, and since that time wakati gold ilikuwa 1,800 hapa. I remember some price levels. I used to trade. We were trading when gold was
1695.
Huko chini. Oh, in fact, below 18.
Not even 16.
Tulikuwa kwa 16 huko. So inamaanisha
1695.
yeah, we were there those times, huku chini huku kabisa. Nakumbuka hata kuna entry nakumbukanga hapa nilimisingi mpaka wale inanimanga, but it's fine, that's part of the business. We were here huku chini huku ma 1600 around here, I think we were trading gold, and look at what has happened since that time. So I don't get surprised nowadays. That's like almost 18,000 plus pips. So when I'm telling you gold might move to 6,000 price level this year, don't be worried. Why? I want you to see something, guys. The top assets in the market cap in the financial market, top asset by the market cap. I want you to see that. What is the toppest? Gold. Its value is that is 23.185 trillion US dollars. Today alone, gold has been up by 1.48. Then we have Microsoft, then Bitcoin is number 7 and silver as we move on like that. We also have Meta platform. There's a lot, guys, in the financial market. Experience is what will teach you a lot of things. So ukiangalia gold vizuri sana, ndio iko top. Learn to read, do research, understand why. Don't just be here, oh, you're just doing technical analysis, you're just waiting for Basweti or anyone or him, or be a love of doing research, get to understand what is happening in the financial market, So that is the point. So gold tutaendelea kununua, but I think I will be able to give clear setups once price is open. Me, I think I might be up earlier. I want to go to bed mapema so that I be up early. I want to position myself so that I can make good money on gold. I will give my updates on Discord early in the morning. But if I can't see anything clear, I will just let it be. And then later during the London session, I'll give out some heads up. So that's what we have. So we expect probably we continue pushing up on gold. Expect to continue pushing up on gold. And there's a likelihood of us maybe breaking the 3,500 price level this week. Why? Because also the aspect of the geopolitical tensions. So kuna swali? Any question, any reaction, any concern before we wrap it up? Any question, any concern? Anything to add on? Anyone who has anything to say? Feel free, guys. It's a community. Okay, GBP card. Welcome, Bonnie. That's from Valley GBP card. Let's look at GBP card. Price is at from the higher time frame. Price is on an area of liquidity which is type 5, and if you look at this price action as well, price came tapped in. So I'm expecting that's monthly. Okay, pure liquidity. Yes. So we are still bullish on GBP card, but that's from the swinging perspective. But for intradays, let's see quickly. Daily. Price reacted on these. These are the things that we call pure bullish. If you check on the line graph, this is what we call pure bullish. See? Up, then wait. Hizi ni entries zenye ufai kumiss anyway. Then started to the upside, market is coming down here. So for me, I think I'm still bullish on this. Because on the monthly, we have all these area of liquidity that has not been consumed. So if I go up here, this is the best area that maybe I might be looking for sell. So Having said that, I'm bullish on the swinging perspective. I'm bullish on GBP card, but I think I'll drop some setups for intraday this week on GBP card. And if I get a clear structure as well, I'll give an update on the swings. But generally, I'm bullish, and I will be looking for sales from around 1.91246, around this price level. Talking about this zone. Talking about this zone. Only watakuwa natafutia sales, but generally I'm bullish. Think up that we can think up that point, we can call it even. Going to post this recording on YouTube. I'll share the link so that you guys can go and watch for, revisit and learn from that, and also check the updates. Then I know Harris will also has his program in his groups. I will as well be posting some stuffs on the Discord, and the challenge group we resume tomorrow. I think I will drop the report on that group, but we resume tomorrow. Back-to-back setups, high probability setups. Make sure you apply risk management and learn patience. The things you have to experience them from the market for you to be able to, you really have to experience them for you to be in a position to, to grow. Because if you are scared of executing the trades, if you're scared of losses, the only way you can learn is by putting in the work, practicing, and doing the right things. That's the only way I believe you can be able to learn, especially when it comes to trading the forex market. It's a business that is easy and hard, depending on how you view it. But once you understand what you're doing, you have an edge in the market, you have a plan, trust me, it is the only business that before anything happens, you already know. One thing I like about trading is that you can know your losses even before you execute the trades. You can know your profits even before you execute the trade. And that puts you in a position to decide what you want to do and position yourself in a better place to grow financially. So, guys, be disciplined this week. Apply proper risk management. Based on your, of course, the size of your account, and don't be too emotional. Don't do impulsive trading. Just follow the plan, and once you hit your targets, don't need to be on the market the rest of the week. You hit targets, Zako. Switch off your laptops and go enjoy, and re-strategize and all that. So you guys have a lovely week, a very peaceful week ahead. Let's be active on all the groups you're in, the WhatsApp groups, the Discord servers, and keep sharing your trading ideas as well so that you can as well learn, get corrected, and you'll be in a better position to improve. So you guys have a lovely night and have a beautiful week ahead. Tukutane kwa mjengo. Who is calling me foreman? Sawa sawa, Victor.